Oh, good evening. We are live now. So, good evening and wonderful evening to everyone joining me live this evening. My name is Ayodeji. So welcome to my YouTube channel, or if you are watching on Facebook, you're welcome. It's so to have you here. And this evening, I will share so much value talking about a very sensitive topic when it comes to real estate transactions because I have interacted with some people and I figured out that many people are scared of investing in real estate, not because of any other reason, but because they've been experiences or someone know has shared a bad experience about it then. And missing out on a lot if you only stay on this bad experience, you don't know what to do. So even if you want to go into real estate, there are things you should watch out for. There are things that you should know. There are some things that should guide your decision making, that should guide how you proceed before you make payments for either that land or the property. So I'm going to be sharing some red flags to avoid when it comes to real estate transactions. And I hope you will gain so much value. This will be a short live stream. I don't intend to take the time. Probably less than 30 minutes and we are done. So let's just go straight into it. I hope my screen is being shared. So now I am going to be sharing avoiding fraud in real estate transactions. So tips and red flags to watch out for. So you open your eye and know these are the things to watch out for when it comes to real estate. When you see this, you know that I already mentioned it, that this is a red flag. Or you know what to do when you see something like that. Just hold on a sec, please. Okay, let's go. So in real estate, there is this fraud, like I mentioned earlier, the risk of being a victim of fraud. And being defrauded in real estate is one of the worst experiences. If you or you know someone that have had this experience, you know that it's very, very terrible experience. And it's even more terrible because we are talking about high ticket transactions here. We are talking about so much amount of money. We're talking about hundreds of thousands, millions of naira. So these are things that one has to be careful so that you don't, just get defrauded because you don't have information. This little information can actually save you millions of naira. And when we are talking about scammers in real estate, scammers can disguise as realtors, estate developers, builders, your friends, your relatives, people that you trust or people that are close to you. I mean, we've all heard stories of people, so probably someone in the diaspora abroad and sending money home that even to their parents that they should help them build something. And when they come back from their trip, maybe 2, 3, or 10 years later, they get there and see that nothing has been done. All the money that was sent home was just for nothing. These people spend their money anyhow because they assume that, oh, you guys are making so much money there, your money is so much, so let's spend your money anyhow. So it is a very terrible experience, and I don't wish it on anybody at all. So you have to be vigilant, and you must familiarize yourself with these common red flags. And like I said here, knowledge is your best defense. The best defense you can have when it comes to real estate transactions is having the right knowledge, having the right information. If you don't have the right knowledge, if you don't have the right information, then you are susceptible to being defrauded. And fraud can be in terms of somebody duping you, or somebody selling a piece of land that has some issues, or a piece of land that is under government acquisition and the likes. So if you are watching this and maybe you don't have the money to buy land yet, just stay on, save this advice for future use. You might not need it now, but you will need it later. And also, you might not need it now, but someone close to you, someone dear to you might need it. So please make sure you save this advice for future use. The first red flag here is impatient seller. If somebody is trying to sell land to you or trying to sell a property to you, and the person is, rushing you, telling you that you have to pay now, let's quickly make payment and all that, slow down. Don't rush. Even if the person is telling you there's a promo, there's something that, or it's an urgent case, it's a distress sale, the just cool down. Don't rush. Don't allow anybody to rush you. If you are being rushed and you are not allowed to ask questions, then that's one red flag. So in this case, be very thorough in your due diligence. I'm not saying all rush transactions are fraudulent, but most of it are fraudulent. So be very thorough in your due diligence, and don't be pressured by any of these tactics. So whether the marketer or the seller or anybody is saying, very fast, let me sell, no, just cool down. There's nothing to rush about. The land is not going anywhere. And even if you miss out on the deal, there are other deals that you can take advantage of. So it's better not to rush into a deal that will lead you into trouble than take your time, miss out on it generally. And even if the deal is eventually good, you would have known that, okay, I took my time, and there are other ones that I will get. Second red flag, ridiculously cheap property. I know many Nigerians fall for this. Like, you see, you already see that the value of property in an area is probably 10 million naira. If someone wakes up tomorrow and tells you that he's selling this for 4 million naira, that's a red flag. Because the first question you should ask is, why is this selling so cheap? Are you the owner of the land? Even if you are the owner of the land, is there a sprinkle of court case or family dispute for land? You should know this, because if somebody is trying to dispose a piece of land or property at a very cheap price, then there's something that you must know. The person won't tell you. Some people will say, "Oh, it's because I'm traveling now, so I need money." Try to do your research. Don't say what that person has told you, what the seller has told you. Do your own research. If it's too good to be true, then it is suspicious. So don't just jump into any transaction here. Again, do your due diligence. This is the second time I'm mentioning due diligence. So always do your due diligence before you jump on any offer. Number three, if you are discouraged from hiring a lawyer, it is a red flag. They are telling, if you probably you tell the seller or the vendor or the agent that wants to get your lawyer, and the person is telling you, you don't need to get a lawyer. We everything is tight, everything is safe and secure. No, don't stay on that. Don't agree to that. Get a lawyer. The job of your lawyer is to protect your interests and even provide legal advice for you. The seller might have their own lawyer, or the company might have their own lawyer. Yes, but your own lawyer will protect your interests. Their own lawyer will protect their interests. The job of a lawyer is to protect the interest of their clients. So don't think that because there's a lawyer involved in this transaction, I am safe, so I don't need to get my own lawyer. Your lawyer protects your interest. The seller's lawyer protects the seller's interest. So it is your own lawyer that would probably there are some paperwork that you need to sign. It's your own lawyer that will interpret every line, every clause to you. There are some things that you think are just grammar or English. Your lawyer will interpret it to you. They will tell you the implications. So even if you want to go into the deal, you already know the implications. You know what you are getting yourself into. So if you are discouraged from getting a lawyer, please avoid that deal. Now, I'm not saying every deal that because actually I have several clients, several of my clients that did not involve lawyers. And I always tell them that involve a lawyer, but maybe because they trust me or something like that. But that should not stop you from getting a lawyer. Because I have some clients that get lawyer that they go on research, do some due diligence, go to the court, go to the Ministry of Lands and all that to verify what I actually told them about the property and everything checks. So this is why you need to get your lawyer. So even if I was lying to that client, the lawyer would review that that realtor, that agent is lying to you. So pay lawyer now so that you don't have to pay lawyer later. If you get that. What I'm saying is that if you pay lawyer now, lawyer's fee, maybe 10% of the transaction, or whichever agreements you have with your lawyer, you won't pay lawyer later when probably you are going to court for litigation, for court case. At that time, you won't have a choice. You have to pay lawyer and you pay your lawyer even more. And that does not even guarantee that you will get the land or the property back. Even if you get it back, imagine the stress that you would have gone through, the stress that you would have avoided if you paid the lawyer earlier. Red flag number 4, no site inspection. See, if you are trying to buy land or you are trying to buy property, and you have to see you have to see it. You have to see what you are buying. Don't just say because someone mentioned so place. I don't care to see it. Try and see it because it is when you see it. Always inspect the site physically. Verify that the land exists and matches the survey document. Now, someone might give you a survey document, and this is a survey of this piece of land. It might be the survey of another piece of land entirely. So, if you have not done a site inspection to verify that land and the survey document with you, that do they match? Is it the same? How would you know if you don't do site inspection? Then also, you need to see how the neighborhood looks like. Is this an area that is developing? Is it not yet developed? Are there development indicators in this area? You should know this so that you know what you are getting into. At least if you are buying bush, you know you are buying bush for land banking purpose or for investment purpose. And if you want to buy and build now, you should know that you are not going to buy bush because you want to build immediately. So these are things that you should know. Then you should know the land condition. Is it swampy? Is it dry land? Is it tableland? Is it a land that is flat or is it a land that is slopy? So you know that the extra cost that you will incur when you are trying to build your property, or maybe you have to sand fuel when you want to build your own property. So you have to know all this. That's the importance of site inspection. So if they are telling you that you don't need to see the site, please don't settle for that. And if you are not in Nigeria, if you are in the diaspora, you can get your family member, you can get because sometimes family members too can get compromised. But someone you trust that know that will not betray you. It can be your family, it can be your lawyer, it can be your realtor, but someone you trust. Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for any action you take. It is your money. And that's why, what is it called? Is it caveat emptor? Buyers beware. So it's you that you have to beware. So always take all these precautions. No allocation. This is another red flag. This is usually when you deal with, real estate companies. There are some real estate companies that They don't allocate land to their clients. They just subscribe to the land, and some of them even oversubscribe. They have 100 plots of land there. They would sell that property to more than 100 people. That's oversubscription. And at the end of the day, they don't allocate land to these subscribers. So research, do your research. This company, do they allocate land to clients? What's their pedigree? What's their history? What are the things that people are saying about them? Do your research. A simple Google search will tell you some of these things. So do your research, know where the company is lacking, know if it's a company that allocates land to clients, know if it's a company that even encourages their clients to build. Like the companies I partner with, they even encourage you to build, because when you build on your property, it's actually when you build on your land, it even enables that land, the land itself, to increase in value. So that means the more people are building, the more the land is valued higher. But some companies, they will just collect money from people. I know someone that's actually paid for a piece of land more than 3 years now, and the company has not allocated land to her. This is very bad. So please make sure you find out if that company allocates land. And some of the companies are guilty of this. They are usually good with PR. They use celebrities. You see celebrities promoting their land and all that. Don't fall for that. Now, I'm not saying that companies that use celebrities or are good at PR that they are all shady, but don't just settle for what celebrity has said. If things go wrong, the celebrity is not responsible. The influencer is not responsible. You are totally responsible. So you can't hold anybody if things go wrong. The only person you can hold is the company that you are dealing with. So you must do your research to be sure that that company allocates land to their clients. So always ask questions. Red flag number 6: improper titles and documentation. Proper title is crucial for land ownership or property ownership. So don't settle for receipt alone. Some people will buy land and they'll just say the only document they have is family receipts. What's that? Family receipt is not sufficient documents over a piece of land. The family can come up tomorrow and say they are not selling the land to you again, because there is no deed of assignment that has actually transferred the property to you legally. Deed of assignment is that document that transfers a piece of land or property to you legally. So if you have not done a deed of assignment, what you have not full ownership of that title or the title of that property. You are not yet the owner. Somebody else can come tomorrow and claim it, and the person has a superior title. Then the court or whatever, yes, might be the court, we give it to the person. So this is why you must always make sure the titles documentation are in proper place. So you should know your titles, know the documents. When you hear registered survey, what is it? Or even some you might hear even survey. Is it registered? Is it just a provisional survey? If it's not government approved, that's not registered survey. It is registered survey when the government, that is Surveyor General of the state, has stamped it that this is approved by the government. So you should know all this. You should know your deed of assignment. You should know when you are talking about CFO, you should know this. Then even the CFO, what kind of CFO is it? Is it for residential purpose? Is it industrial? Is it agricultural? Because some people buy land because they are looking for CFO up and down. They will go and buy land, and it is the CFO that the property has is for agri purpose. So if you go there and you are trying to build a residential property there, then in future the government will come and demolish that property, because you are using that land for something, for other purpose than for which it was allocated. I mean, for which CFO was allocated. So these are things you should watch out for. Ask for all necessary documents. Registered survey, deed of assignment. There are other documents that you should ask for that are not here. So make sure you ask for all the relevant titles and documents. Number 7, if you don't consult a credible realtor, you might enter into trouble. The job of realtors is to help you find deals that suit your budget and your plans. Sometimes people, it's not just about buying lands or buying house or building house. Some people, they just, probably someone just advised them, yeah, there's land somewhere, let's go and buy it. And then they now buy the land, and their money, it might not even be fraudulent, but you tie down your money on that piece of land because it's not it's not in tandem with your budget and your plans. Maybe your plan is, I want to do land banking, and then you now go and buy the land in maybe your hometown or in your village where there's no sign of massive development showing up, where there's no influx of people, there's no immigration at a high rate. So that means that land that you have bought there, before that land appreciates in value, it will take years, several years. But if you consult a realtor, your realtor will advise you that no, that's not a good place to buy land. Even if it's cheap, that's not a good place to buy land. Your realtor also knows the places that are cheap that you can buy land, and in few years will yield higher returns. Your realtor would know that this is the best place to build this kind of property. Some people buy, they build this. You want to build you want to build property for short leg purpose, and then you go and situate that property somewhere where there's no traffic, where there's no commercial activity going on. Then you now say you finish building that your house is not getting, you're getting vacant apartment most of the year. There's no occupancy. So that's because you did not consult a credible realtor who advised you properly. So the realtors know the best locations to buy, and me, I'm a realtor. So you can consult me if you want an investment, a land investment deal that gives you peace of mind and it's secure. So contact me, you can send me a DM, you can reach out to me on the comment section. I'm your guy. So the summary of what we have been saying since morning is that first thing is that be patient and always conduct thorough due diligence. Maybe some other time I will talk about what does it really mean to do due diligence. Because sometimes someone says he has done due diligence and you ask them, just say, well, just tell you have seen the documents. If you have seen the documents, have you gone to verify in the Ministry of Lands? Have you gone to, as a lawyer, gone to maybe the court to check if there's no dispute on that land? Have you done some research around the neighborhood to know if there are no disputes, by family members? These are some elements of due diligence that you should know. I'll talk about that, comprehensively in some other videos. Just subscribe to my channel and stay in touch. And if you have questions, you can send me a DM. I'll be willing to answer your questions. Again, when it comes to real estate deals, don't hesitate to ask questions. Ask questions. You can ask as many questions as you want. If you are not clear about anything, ask. Nobody would. It's your money. So nobody would stop you with, if anybody is preventing you from asking questions, that's a red flag. So always ask questions. You need clarity. Ask questions. And finally, if you are not satisfied, walk away. Walk away from the transaction. It's not compulsory. It's not do or die. So if you are not satisfied, you don't have peace of mind, you are not feeling it in your heart to go ahead with the transaction, walk away. You always get some other transactions in the future. There's always real estate deals all around. It's one thing, that's one thing about real estate. It is a need that will always exist. So I hope you've gotten value from this session. This is this is going to be the end. If you have any questions, you can let me know right away. I think I'll check the comment section now. If there are any questions, just drop it in the comment section if you have any questions. So that's my phone number on the screen. You can reach out to me via WhatsApp or you can call me. Questions? Okay. I'm not seeing any question in the comment section. So if that's the case, I think we can call it a good night. Thank you so much for joining me today again. As usual, it's always a good time to share knowledge with you, to share value with you, and to make sure you are making the right and the best decisions when it comes to real estate. Real estate is it's a beautiful industry. It's beautiful investment. It's one of the safest investment where you can put your money, but you must do it the right way. Thank you so much for joining me on this live session, and see you on the next one. Have a good night. Bye.